Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Let's do another color and chat for the Belba family color along that is going on during the month of March. I am co-hosting this with Shelley from the Stitching Colorist and with Nikki from Nikki and Niagara, and I will link both of their channels down below in the description. If you have not already, go out and check out their channels. The hashtag for this particular color along is hashtag BelbaInMarch. So if you want to join in, don't forget to hashtag that name in Instagram, and you can tag Shelley, Nikki, or myself in those posts also. We love to see your pictures. I don't get on Instagram as much as I should, so I'm going to try to make a point of getting out there and looking at all your pictures and remembering to post my own, because as you can see, I've kind of been going nuts in all of my Belba family books this month so far. I've almost colored so far exclusively out of these. I've just been having such a good time. I've become addicted. So, I, as you know, have just been going through these books in order. I have quite a number of them done already. This month I've been trying some different coloring mediums in these books, and at the end of the month when I go through what I colored for the month, you'll see that. So let's go on to the next picture. I am coloring today out of their Square Mandalas book. This is the first of the Square Mandalas. The second one is the animals in, what is it called? Animals in, I always forget. But it's the mandala where you have the animal in the middle of the, or the, yeah, the mandala with the animal in the middle. Love that book too. So I thought, because this is a smaller size book, it may not take me quite as long to get this done. And it's been a busy weekend for me. I'll get into that in a little bit. So I thought what I would use today is my Shuttle Art Fineliners. I love this set. It is a set of 100. I have it in this gorgeous iridescent pencil case. You know, why don't companies that make these pencil cases and marker cases, why don't they come out with a fine liner or, you know, water-based marker case? No, there's only marker cases for alcohol markers, and there's pencil cases. So I opted to use a pencil case for my fine liners, but of course they're bigger than pencils, plus the fact you have caps on these. So what I had to do was I would put 2 in, then skip a loop, put 2 in, skip a loop, etc., etc. And while it does work, it would just be nicer to have a case that fits these. Now, I do have a number of Artezas cases that do fit the fine liners, because they're made for like their Inconics, and I believe the Arteza Twi markers come in those cases. So I do have a number of those cases. But yeah, I will link the fine liners, the Shuttle Art Fineliners down below, this case and the book, in case you are interested in any of that. All right, I have my handy dandy little cheat sheet here, because as you can see, I of course had to make a color chart for these fine liners, and I labeled each pen in numeric order. So I have swatched them out, of course, and I picked out colors that work with the color palette. If you're not familiar with Belba family, all their color by number books have this 22 color palette, and every single book follows the exact same palette. So number 1 in this book is peach. Their other color by number books also have number 1 is peach, etc., down to number 22 being black. So once you find a palette, if you're like me, and you find a coloring medium and you find what color works for each one, jot it down, because then you have your coloring mediums, your colors already picked out for one of their other books. So saves you some time. Alrighty, so we are going to start Let's see if we have any number 1s, and we don't. Do we have any number 2s? And we don't. So we are going to start with number 3. Number 3 for me is 86. All right. Now, first off, I want to ask you, I think I figured out the problems with my new wireless mic. So let me know, and this time be honest. Last time when I tried the wireless mic for the first time, I asked how it sounded. Practically all of you said, oh, it sounded fine. I could hear you great. Yeah, when I listened back to it, it did not sound great. It was very distorted, especially when I talked louder. There was one individual that, or maybe a couple of you, that were actually honest and thought, you know, you guys were nice about it. So, but yeah, I said, finally somebody honest, because I knew it sounded awful. So I contacted the company. I think I have the problem worked out. There was a setting that I wasn't aware of. And so hopefully I have this figured out. But again, let me know in the comments below if the audio now sounds better with this wireless mic. The past few videos I made, I again used my wired mic because until I could figure out the problems with this, you know, I didn't want the audio to sound absolutely horrible. So yeah, please let me know if you have any problems with the audio in this particular video. So, okay, first off, you like the St. Patty's Day nails. I did end up breaking off a number of my nails. This one really short, so I think after this video, yeah, never mind this. I was doing some things in the kitchen and I got stained up. Yeah, I'm going to be clipping them all off and trying to get them a little bit shorter so that, you know, I don't have some very long, like my nail, my thumbnail, I mean. And we have a Misty here trying to help. Do you see her? Yeah. Misty. She was up here before, too. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Here. Yeah, look up at the camera. You're very close. Let me zoom back out. There. Psst, 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 psst. Up here. Up here. All you could see is my hand. Say hi, Misty. You're on candid camera. She says, no, I don't want to. Okay. You're going to have to go down, baby girl. Yes. I don't think they came just to see you. No, they want to chat. Yes, they want to chat. We can cuddle later. Now I got fur on my desk. Oh. All right, let's zoom back in and let's try starting this again. So, yeah, had to put some Patty Day nails on. Let's see, am I zoomed in enough? Yeah, that should be good, huh? All right, so I was busy cutting up things in the kitchen. So I was using my hands a lot, so I probably won't be as steady and as fast doing this as I normally am. Normally I can zip along pretty good and get my X's looking okay, but yeah, when I use my hands a lot, like I was cutting up veggies for supper tonight. Just got that all in the oven. We're having pork tenderloin with carrots and potatoes. So yeah, I had to peel all that and cut them all up. And potatoes I don't mind cutting up, but carrots get a little bit tricky. They're a harder vegetable. So yeah, my hands are a little tired now. Gotta have lots of veggies. And it's gonna start smelling so good in here. Is everybody doing good this weekend? I apologize for not having my color and chat up yesterday. It is a Sunday afternoon. And yeah, yesterday was kind of a busy day, so I did not get to record at all yesterday, which been with me for any length of time. You know that I like to do the majority of my recording for the entire week on Saturdays, and then if I have to, I finish up on Sundays, and then I, copy them to my computer, create thumbnails, edit, render them, get them uploaded, all that fun stuff. So now I'm going to have to do that all today. But yesterday morning had a house showing, which, yeah, just got feedback from my realtor. And yeah, another person that does not want it. Because, get this one. This one is a new one. The driveway, they wanted a driveway that they could put their boat in. And I answered back to my realtor because she texted me. And I said, could they not have seen from the pictures online there would have been no room in this driveway for a boat? Or if they didn't look at them online and they just seen it when they drove past, couldn't they have been able to see? I don't know. I don't understand people. Just like a lot of the other feedback I get is that, it's kind of outdated, which, granted, it is. I know that. There is some paneling in the house yet. But again, I have pictures of every single room, upstairs and downstairs, online, where, these people find their houses to look at. I know I myself thoroughly look through pictures before I request a showing of a house. And, they should be able to see if there's paneling, if there's, like the downstairs has some funky carpeting. I would love to replace that carpeting, but it is such a huge family room down there. It runs the entire length of my house, and it is half the width. So it is one huge finished off room. And yes, it has outdated carpeting, and it is paneled down there. Well, the paneling I can't do a whole lot about, but I was thinking, let me know if you guys have ever done this, is not only can you paint paneling, but you can get some of that textured paint for paneling, so it looks, it has that like sandy type of texture. And they have paint like that for paneling also. I mean, you have to, prime the paneling first and everything so that the paint will adhere to the paneling, especially if you have shiny paneling, which mine is not. It's not a real shiny, slick paneling, because that's even harder to paint over. You typically have to go with sander or sandpaper and rough it up a little bit so that the paint will stick. But, so, I was thinking, Bob thinks I'm crazy, and I'm like, no. I said, that is a lot of the comments that I've been getting, The paneling and the windows are older. They no longer have the crank-out windows. So, yeah. There's no way I can replace all the windows. And the kitchen cabinets are a little older. So there just are some things I won't be able to replace or fix. But it's, it's not a $300,000 house either. It's not even a $200,000 house. I mean, come on, people. If I upgraded everything in this house that needed upgrading, yeah, it would be over $200,000 house. So, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm never going to sell. I've been on the market too long now. Anyhow, Lisa, get off that subject. They don't want to hear about your house woes. The other thing was a good thing this weekend. It was, and I think I mentioned this in a past color in chat, that it was mine and Bob's 15th anniversary. And no, I'm not married, but we've been going out for 15 years. I know. Some people ask, why haven't you gotten married? Well, our answer is, we were both married once before. Obviously didn't go real well, or we wouldn't be divorced. Mine ended really amicably, though. My ex and I get along great. We get along far better than when we were married. Bob's didn't end so well. He got greatly taken advantage of. So, and he's such a sweetheart that it breaks my heart that somebody would do to him what his ex-wife did. Just wanted him for his money. Not that he was rich or anything, but yeah, she would just buy frivolous things. So, yeah, we both are like, hey, you know, what we have works, so why change it? So, yeah, we'll never get married, I know that, and I don't have a problem with that. And that's a fact. So, for our 15th anniversary, we went out to eat. And then something we have not done in, oh my gosh, I'm shaky. Hate that, especially when you're doing something like this. We went to the casino. And we went gambling. It was so much fun. We have not done that since, oh gosh, before I moved up in this house. And I've been up here now. It'll be 11 years next month. So it probably has been like 12 years since we actually went gambling. And boy, we had fun. Fortunately, did I say fortunately or unfortunately? I don't know if the came out. Yeah, I didn't win a thing. Like I kind of figured, you can't go to a casino and think you're going to come home with $1,000 or, you know, whatever, depending on how much money you take. But, you know, I just wanted to be able to spend enough time on a machine or two, you know, to keep me going and let me play for a while. But boy, we had bad luck. Ugh. Yeah, neither one of us did real good. Towards the end, I found a machine that, you know, kept letting me hit good enough where I could, you know, sit on it and play for a while. But eventually that one, too, took all my money. Meanie. So, yeah, that is why I did not get to record at all yesterday. And now today, yeah, was some cleaning up to do, even though I had the house, of course, really clean for the showing yesterday. So I spent Friday night you know, the house is clean, but, you know, just redusting, re-vacuuming. I wanted to repolish the wood floor because I have laminate flooring. And it gets to the point where if I wash it, doesn't matter what I wash it with, it gets this haze on it. And you can see every footprint as soon as you walk on it. And it drives me crazy. It looks worse than before I wash it. And yes, I have looked on the internet, high and low. I have tried every recipe out there to, what to wash your laminate flooring with to avoid that haze, that cloudy haze. I mean, I would try just plain distilled water and I would still get this cloudy haze. It's like, what in the world? I have bought some commercial products, some of which were quite expensive. I mean, not atrociously expensive where I went to bought it, but, a little more pricey. And I would still get that haze. So then I thought, well, maybe it's the flooring, But we put brand new laminate flooring over by the washer and dryer because that had started to buckle. Well, it had been buckling when I bought the house, and I think the people that owned the house before me, I think their washer must have overflowed, and that's what started the buckling. So we did end up replacing all the flooring in there. And so when I would wash the floors, there was like a haze on there too. So I knew it wasn't my older laminate flooring. So yeah, I eventually found on Amazon, of course, there's a floor cleaner that you spray on it and you sponge it clean in. And then in the same line of products, get all the threes over here. Yeah. There is a floor polish. Now it's not a wax because I know you're not supposed to wax laminate flooring. It's a type of a polish that you put down that is safe for laminate flooring. And my gosh, you talk about a shine. Oh, this floor looks stunning. Oh, I just have to sit and look at it because it's so pretty. And the polish actually lasts. Well, your high traffic areas, will, of course, need extra sooner than the areas that are not walked on much. But it's still, I think I only do it like every few months before you start noticing the footprints whenever you wash your floor again. So I knew that my floor needed polishing again. And so Friday night, I moved everything out of the kitchen and everything out of the dining room. I actually managed to fit the dining room table through there's a smaller opening between Bob's chair and the wall where the fireplace is in. Managed to just fit that dining room table through that opening and put the dining room table and the chairs and everything in the living room. And so I didn't have to try to wash and polish around that table, which is really a pain. And so yeah, washed it, and then the washing, when you wash it, it dries real fast. By the time I'm done mopping in the kitchen and then I go into the dining room area, the kitchen's already dried. So I figured if Bob has to take Bella out or, something like that, it won't take so long to dry. He can, walk on it. But the polishing takes longer. So I waited to do that until he had gone to bed. And then I put the first coat down. You got to let it dry anywhere between half hour, 45 minutes. Not real long. And then you can put the second coat on. So second coat I left dry overnight. I only walked on it a little bit to take Bella out. But yeah, otherwise it dried overnight. And then oh, looks like a total different floor. And it is so inexpensive. I'm like, oh, wish I had found this stuff first. What is it called? I think it's called Quick Shine. And like I said, there's a floor cleaner, and I think it's called Floor Luster or something in that same line. So if anybody's looking for a good floor cleaner for your laminate wood flooring, yeah, that stuff works awesome. And if you can't find it and you want to, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll let you know for sure what it's called. I can even give you a link to it if you want. But so yeah, now my floor is all shiny. The downside is the fact that it's very slippery. And while that's fine for me, yeah, Miss Maddie has a tendency of slipping on that. So I told Heather to make sure she brought Maddie's, I call them her slippers with the grippers, because they got the little nubbies on the bottom. And so when she wears them, she doesn't slip and slide on it so bad. Even Bella, she can't get traction on that floor. It's kind of funny. She wants to get going, and her feet just keep going. It's hilarious. And I told, oh, 1 minute. Okay. And I told my daughter, I said, I don't think Levi's going to get any traction in there. If you're new to my channel, I babysit my grandkids full time. And Maddie, or Madison, is 3. Little Levi, is 7 months. So he is not quite crawling yet. I can't believe that. But boy, he might as well be, because he slithers so fast on his belly and pulls himself along with his arms and pushes with his legs. Oh, he looks like a little pollywog or something, tadpole. And I said to Heather, I says, I don't think he's going to get any traction in there. Oh, man. So we'll see how he does tomorrow when I get the kids. Too funny. So, yeah, I had that all going on Friday night. I was going to record Friday night, but then, yeah, I got asked if I could have a showing Saturday morning, and I'm like, why, surely you can. I just got to do a little straightening up. And, you know, you're dusting and picking up after having the grandkids all week. That kind of stuff. Oh, I should put that one in upside down. I always put the ones that I use upside down in my cases so that they're easier to find. Now I see we do have some 2s in the middle. I know that's bright yellow. That is my number 2 marker. Alrighty, so, you know, it was really weird as I just did that, because I always have whatever I'm coloring with over to the right, and that is one thing I always hated about my wired mic, is when I would go over to grab something, the wire would get pulled tight, and I would end up wiggling my camera, and you guys would get all dizzy and sick. And so I automatically lifted my arm up so I wouldn't hit that cord so much. And now with this wireless mic, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I really am hoping the audio sounds good on this. Because if it doesn't, again, please let me know. Because then I want to look into what other adjustments I can make, because this thing should be crystal clear. It was a little bit more pricey, but number one, it came highly recommended. Number two, the manufacturer of the software that I use to record my videos highly recommended it also, and it had, yeah, great reviews and everything. So yeah, please let me know. Oh, what's our next number? I think it's number 8. All right, number 8 is 93. We're getting into the browns now. Yeah, number 8 is dark brown. And that's, yeah, my 93. Okay, so we got a lot of 8s to go here. Looks like this is going to be a lot of, let's see, 8, 9 is, what was number 9? Oh, pink. Okay. So we're going to have a lot of pinks in here, too. Should be pretty. Okay, let's get way up here. This is a juicy one, as you can see. When I have a really juicy one, I have a tendency to try to color lighter with it, because otherwise the lines are so much thicker than the other ones. And it seems like when you have your dark colors, for some reason my X's don't turn out as good. I think it's just because you can see them more. But I think it's just because of the dark color. Makes the X's look wonky. Either that or I'm more conscious of it being a dark color and showing up more, that I'm trying to make them so much better, so then I end up making them worse. But it all turns out in the end. Nobody's looking at it this close like you guys are. Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're just doing your own thing. You're doing your crafting, either coloring, diamond painting, whatever. And you're not sitting here watching me make little X's. That would be pretty boring. I think I got more and more people hooked on this cross-stitch method, as we like to call it, or the X method. And more people are really liking it. I'll never go back to coloring in solid. Not for these type of mosaic pictures where there are little squares. No. This is just way too much more fun. Love it. I have done so many pictures this month already. We're only the middle of March. Only, I say only. No, it's already the middle of March. And yeah, I have done so many Belba family pictures. As you can tell from this one book alone, this is what, number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 6th picture in this book already. And I did at least that many in the other mandalas book, with the animals in. And also in some of the other books, the cat book, the woman book, I think the dog book, yeah, a lot of them. I've just been on a tear lately. It's like, well, it is Belba Family Month. Now I am into, what is it called? Colorpedia? No. Color Questopia. In their mosaic books. Oh my gosh, I love those two. So yeah, I kind of put the Belba books aside finally. I'm like, okay, Lisa, you got to do something different besides just Belba Family this month. So I forced myself to put them down go look in my bookcases and see, okay, what else shall we do? I did color a picture out of a Sun Life drawing book that I just got. I had received, well, they have a new one out now, so it's not their newest book, but the one prior to the new one that's out now. But my copy was printed incorrectly, and so I contacted them, and they were aware of the printer problems for the first few that went out, and so they sent me a new one. Well, it takes a while to get here because they're from, I don't know if they're stationed in the UK, maybe. So yeah, it took me quite a while to get that updated copy, but I just did a flip through of it. I'm not sure when. That video will probably be up either today yet or tomorrow. And I had already colored in the first picture, of course, with my gel pens. And so yeah, I did color that one, but yeah, now I have been really going to town in the Color Questopia mosaic books. So you will see all of that coming up the end of March. Anybody else have any plans this weekend? Have you done anything fun? Our weather turned quite a bit colder here this weekend. Last weekend was just so gorgeous. But because the sun is getting higher in the sky, it's, getting warmer. The sun itself is getting warmer and warmer the closer we are to spring. So a lot of our snow has melted. Yay! Can actually see out my driveway when I back out of the garage and back onto the street. I can actually see past the snowbanks now to see if a car is coming. Oh, I hate that when the snowbanks get so high. It's really dangerous. Got to be halfway out in the street before you can see anything. So, yeah. Yeah, now that the snow is disappearing, I can see problems that I'm going to have with my lawn, because the area that Bella always goes potty over on the west side of the house, not only is dog urine not good for grass, but Bob, when he snow blows, and does the driveway, he also does the west side of the house. There's a sidewalk that goes along the garage on that side of the house that leads to the service entry door. And when he leaves for work, he always goes out that side door, so he doesn't have to open up the big garage door. And so, yeah, he always snow blows that. Well, then he also snow blows onto the lawn a spot for Bella so that she can go to the bathroom over there. So, again, not only is doggy urine not good for grass, but the fact that that snow cover is removed for the most part off that area is not good. It sounds really weird, but snow is an insulator against winter. I mean, isn't that bizarre? It's like it's an oxymoron. But, yeah, if you don't have, and this is why farmers need a good snow cover on their crops too. If you don't have a good snow cover, then when you get these, 20 below zero temps, that cold gets down to the root of the plant and it kills it. Whereas if you have good snow cover, that temp, those freezing temps, can't get down to the roots, the real important part of the plant or the crop. So it can't kill it off. And that's why we need a good snow cover every winter, especially if we're going to get, 20 below zero temps, which of course we always do at some point or another. So yeah, with Bob removing that snow, yeah, I have a big patch over there, probably a good 6-foot circle. That is going to be dead grass. So I'm definitely going to have to get some grass seed and seed that over there and take Bella elsewhere on the lawn to do her duties for a while. During summertime, it's not so bad because you can take her, miscellaneous places. She doesn't have to go in one area, so then it's not so bad. But yeah, during the winter time when you just want to get her out, let her go, come back in. Not that she thinks that way, no. It could be below zero and the wind is howling and she's out there sniffing around. It's like, come on, Bella. It's freezing out here. Well, that's looking cool, huh? That's neat. We got 18s going in there. Can't remember, it's 18. Yeah, okay, greens. So we're going to have greens going here. It's going to look like leaves, huh? 18s and 19s. Oh, that's going to look cool. That's why I love these books. I mean, all you see when you start out are squares, right? And as you start coloring them in, it's like, ooh, I like that. That's looking nice. Or else, what is that going to be? Especially if it's something like, rather than just a design, like the other Square Mandalas book. It's so fun once the animal in the middle starts coming together to try to figure out what it's going to be. I love that. Or the woman one, that's one of my other favorites. But, the cat, whoops, that's a 9. The cat, the dog, all of them, you can't tell what they are until you start coloring them. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So even these patterns coming together is a lot of fun. You just don't know by looking at the numbers what they're actually going to look like. You know what I heard the other day? Switching topics completely. I heard, and you people in the UK, correct me if I'm wrong, this was on the news. There was, those claw machines that you put, 50 cents in or whatever, and the claw comes down and you try to pick up a stuffed animal or whatever, you try to get a prize with this claw, and then it drops into the corner, and if you get something, yeah, you get it. I heard that in the UK, because there has been such a rash of people going and hoarding toilet paper, of all things. I'm sure we are all aware of this, and I found out that we cannot mention that particular thing that is causing all of this because the videos get flagged. At least another color tuber told me that. So we are not going to mention what is causing all of this panic by name, but you know what I'm talking about. That this claw machine is filled with toilet paper. and you can win toilet paper instead of other prizes. I'm like, are you kidding me? Toilet paper has become such a special commodity that they are now prizes. Oh my heavens. I laughed at that story, and it looked real. I mean, the pictures they were showing, I don't know. But I tell you, even around here, it is ridiculous. And from what I'm hearing, it's everywhere in the world now. People are hoarding, especially toilet paper. You would think it would be more food-wise, or like I told Heather, I says, you better, maybe stock up on diapers and formula and stuff. You would think it would be things that you truly can't live without, rather than toilet paper. I mean, granted, we definitely want that in our lives. Would be not impossible, but difficult to get along without. But yeah, you cannot find toilet paper in our stores. Bob went in special. What night was that? Thursday night, I think. Because we were running, not real low, but a little. And so, with the crisis going on, he thought, I better drive in and get some. So he drove all the way into Wausau, only to find out, yeah, there was not a roll to be had. But they said they were getting stock in that night, so Thursday night. So he was going to go because, of course, Walmart's open 24 hours. He was going to go before work, and he's at work by like 4:30. So he was going to go to Walmart before work yet. And I said, before work? Well, I'm up at 3 anyhow. I'm like, oh my heavens. I said, Bob, I got to get groceries sometime anyhow. I was going to do it over the weekend. But I said, why don't I get up and go early before Heather brings the kids, and then I'll get some of the toilet paper that's supposed to come back in stock. So I went at 7:30 in the morning, and I went down to the toilet paper first thing, and those shelves were completely bare except for one box that contained, maybe half a dozen rolls of Scott brand toilet paper, which is not, normally we get Charmin, but hey, what the heck. So I picked up, and they were just 4 packs of the mega rolls. So I picked out 2. I wasn't going to hoard them all. Other people need toilet paper too. But yeah, that was it out of everything. And then not only that, the pizzas are picked over, because I wanted to get a couple pizzas. Maddie really likes that for lunch once in a while. And corn dogs, because now I'm going to end up having Jaden full time, and I'll get into that in a minute. He likes corn dogs sometimes with tater tots and stuff. Nope, no corn dogs. They're all gone. Ah, unbelievable. But our governor here in the state of Wisconsin, was it Friday, I think, issued a state of emergency, just like, for the state, just like President Trump issued for the entire country. But our governor then instituted a mandatory school closings of every single school in the state. And they have to be closed by this next Wednesday. So they can close effective tomorrow, which will be Monday, but they have to be closed by Wednesday, which means I will have Jaden full-time also. I'm like, oh my heavens, they are getting that far, huh? As to close all the schools. I said, yeah, it's only a matter of time before, are they going to say you can't have mass in churches? Close all the churches? I mean, there's a lot of people that, of course, are in close proximity there. What about daycares? We even heard rumor that they were going to be shutting down restaurants. Practically everything. It's unbelievable. And now with having all of the testing kits available, I mean, finally we got the number of testing kits that this country needs. The number of cases that are reported in the U.S. are going to, over tenfold. The number is just going to shoot through the roof because you're going to get a much more accurate count of how many people actually have this. So it's going to be interesting over the next, week or so to see the actual count of, how many cases there are. Forgot how many cases now Wisconsin's up to. It's getting up there. Not like some states, nowhere near like Washington and New York, and, we don't have that amount, but yeah, it's scary. I'm not as panicked about it as others. I feel it's another virus that's going to run its course. How quickly? Who knows? The school closures are mandated through, I think, April 8th. So not even a month. So, yeah, I'm thinking too. I mean, what do I know? But, I think it's only a matter of time. Like I said, it'll run its course. The numbers, like in China, their numbers of new cases are, going down. So it hit its peak, and, their numbers are going down. Not as many are getting infected anymore. So they're getting better over there. So I'm sure we got a ways before we hit the peak over here, but and still you have to take into consideration that the regular flu that comes around every year is much more deadly than this that is going around now. It kills a lot more people than this does, the current thing that cannot be named. And but yet it really does affect the elderly, people with immune system, compromised immune systems. Now, the one thing that I did hear this past week, I guess that concerned me a little more, is those with other types of diseases, chronic diseases, and on that list is kidney disease. Well, I do have kidney disease, and I guess nothing to the point where, it's not true disease to the point where I'm going to be on renal failure or anything, but I only have one working kidney, so, and my other kidney is very large, so my blood isn't filtered quite as well as a normal person's, but it's okay, it doesn't really affect me. But yet there is that, I'm still, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too lackadaisical about it. I should be more concerned than I am. I am concerned for, like I said, the elderly, the people that really are at risk, the very young, and the people with the serious underlying conditions. You know, these elderly in the nursing homes, you know, are really at risk. So it's really sad when you can't go and see your loved ones, you know, in the nursing home because they're limiting, you know, not only for the relatives' sake, but especially for the elderly in the nursing homes. They don't want you bringing that in because once one patient gets it, yeah, it spreads like wildfire. So, yeah, I mean, you basically can see your loved ones and wave at them through the window. That's sad. You know, you can't go give your mom a hug or, you know, whatever. Boy, this is a Debbie Downer of a video, isn't it? Jeez, Lisa, how depressing. Oh, I do want to mention, too, I had a comment from a subscriber, and she mentioned something that I guess I never even thought about, and I apologize. She had mentioned something about the fact that my bracelet, and I did remember to take it off, it's my Medic Alert bracelet that I always have on my right wrist, and she said, she asked if I could please remove it, that it was noisy and you know, really kind of got in the way of my videos with the sound. And I guess I am so used to that sound, I never even gave it a thought. So I am going to try to remember when I sit down to record, because there's a lot of steps that I have to do when I sit down to record. And that's why I like to record a number of them in a row, because then I got to put everything back away so Maddie can't get at it. So I will try to remember to add that to my list of things to do before I start recording. If I do forget for one series of videos, I apologize in advance. But yeah, I will try to remember to take off that bracelet so it doesn't make noise. Again, I'm just so used to that sound, and, you know, having it, I guess, jingle is one word, clang on my wrist, that, you know, it's there 24/7, so I don't even notice it anymore. But yeah, I will try to remember. And again, I apologize to any of you that felt that was, you know, annoying. The sound was annoying. So we shall try to take care of that. There, you can tell I'm not quite as shaky now anymore. I can go along with my X's a little bit faster. Have you noticed now for all the used to just be the morning shows, talk shows, but now all the nighttime talk shows now they all have no audiences. How bizarre must that be to be a talk show host or group of hosts, which is the case for the morning talk shows like, you know, The View and Kelly and Ryan. I watched that one. Any of them, you know, to not have an audience and the feedback and the clapping and, you know, just reactions from people as you're talking. To not have that interaction with a live audience must just be bizarre. And the first night that I seen Stephen Colbert, because I love his show, um, he did it, without an audience, and it was actually every night he does a practice run, a rehearsal, and runs through the show that way first before he does it in front of a live audience. Well, his first night without a live audience, actually he did his rehearsal in front of the camera. So it was very laid back. It was not really as scripted as it normally is, for his show. And yeah, it was really different. Kind of bizarre. And so, yeah, everybody's having to make accommodations and changes, right? How has this all upset your routine? Have you had to, start working from home? I know a lot of people are having to start working from home. Two of my sisters are now working from home. My son is going to very shortly be working from home. So it's, not to mention all the universities, like I said, in the schools. Around here, we have a lot of rural areas, and so they do not have fast internet out in the country. And so the schools are scrambling to try to get these students mobile hotspots so that they can connect to, temporarily anyhow, to high-speed internet and send in their homework assignments that, I'm not sure how it's all going to work, but, they got to somehow get these kids their homework assignments, and then they'll send them back in. But to do this all without teachers present, I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of kids that do the homeschooling, and it's all over computer, and they do fine. But there are just some kids, actually quite a few kids, that need more of the hand-holding. Not literally, figuratively, or they have more questions, or, they just need that extra something, that online schooling is not going to give them. Online schooling is not for everybody. You have to be more disciplined, It's going to be a pain on the parents because the parents are going to have to get on their kids' butts more. You have to sit down and do your math now. So, yeah, this is really going to be draining on everybody, I think. The kids, the parents, the teachers. Oh, my heavens. Not to mention what's going to be the economical impact of all of this, monetary-wise, and just look at how this is affecting the airlines. They said some of their flights are down 40%, so almost, half of their flights are canceled. It's like, wow, that's, multi-million-dollar business right there. And the cruises, too. So I guess the federal government is looking at all of that and coming up with ways that, they can help out people that are, going to have to be home from work because they have this, and or their families have it and they can't work. You don't want to end up having to sleep in a cardboard box because you came down with this, or you can't put food on the table because you came down with this. So, I guess they're looking at all of that now that it's really becoming rampant in this country too. They said they will not do a complete shut down. Well, not shut down. What did they call it in Italy? Where they, I guess, yeah, kind of basically shut it all down. You know, everybody was quarantined, but they don't know if they're going to have to go that far. I sure hope not. That would really stink. I'll just say stink. I mean, it's the biggest topic, I guess, out there right now, right? It's impacting every single person, young, middle-aged, or old. And if you have all three in your family, it's really affecting you. Yeah, so I don't know. I said, I'm sure daycare's closing is going to be the next thing. Told Heather she's lucky she's got an at-home babysitter. She won't have to worry about it. My sister told me, she goes, hey, Lisa, she goes, you could really start making some big bucks. Just start taking in kids, you know, that are off of school or if the daycare's closed. She goes, oodles are fun. And I said, oh, yeah, oodles. I said, no, I don't think so. I have my hands full already. Oh, heavens. I couldn't imagine. Of course, you're limited when you're not a licensed daycare individual. You're limited to the number of kids you have at certain ages. Well, even with a license, you can only have a certain number of infants and a certain number of toddlers and, you know, after school kids and whatnot. And the states watch that very closely. And you have to, you know, have your home inspected every year and just to make sure everything's up to snuff and you can still have your daycare. And oh yeah, there's hoops you got to jump through in order to have a home daycare, a licensed home daycare. Now, if you only have a couple kids, you don't have to be licensed. But yeah. So yeah, I'm not looking to take any more kids in. No thanks. My 3 grandkids are going to be plenty. They keep me hopping. The only good thing about that is they help me keep the weight off. Oh, my watch always lets me know how far I walk every week. And yeah, it's always up there around 20 miles or so. So I do get my exercise. Oh, speaking of watches, see, I even changed my watch face from purple to green. Yes, must coordinate. Changed my watch band so it had green in it. Yes. I don't know what nails I'm putting on next, but let's see, Easter's coming up. We could go with pastel colors. I have a number of them that would fit that bill. I'll have to look. Because I have had these on for a while. And like I said, I want to clip down my nails anyhow, so take these off, clip them all down, file them good. I know they're not going to look as nice, but otherwise they're bending back and stuff anyhow, and that really hurts. Oh, man. So the only one that never really seems to break off is my thumbnails because they're so thick I have to use a toenail clippers on them to clip them. I know, TMI, TMI. Sorry. But, yeah. Boy, I don't know if we're even going to get through these 8s. because we have quite a bit to go yet, and I'm at 42 minutes. Holy cow. How time flies when we're having fun. So let me ask you, I've been blabbering on about this, that, and the other thing. What are you working on? What are you coloring in? Are you able to participate in Belba family? If you just bought your first Belba family book, to participate. And I know I've gotten a few comments stating some of you just bought one. How are you enjoying it? And which one did you get? What are you coloring with? Are you, if you have these types of books, are you doing this cross-stitch method, or are you doing the traditional coloring in all the block method? So I guess, yeah, we'll call it cross-stitch method or block method. I think, who did I hear refer that to? I think Nikki and Niagara. Cross-stitch method and block method. Nikki, wasn't that you? I thought when I watched one of your videos this morning, you had referred to them as that. Unless I'm mistaken and I was watching somebody else, in which case I am deeply sorry. Let's see, what time is it? Oh my goodness, it's 4:30 already. Wow. I am going to have to finish up this video so that I can go and check on the pork tenderloin and the vegetables. See if they're getting done, and when it's done, I gotta make gravy. Love homemade gravy. I'm getting hungry just talking about it. Hadn't eaten lunch. Had a really late I'm not much of a breakfast eater anyhow, but Bob had been to town, and then he was in Walmart, and our Walmart has a Subway in it. And so he always heard, you know, how good the breakfast sandwiches were, so he picked us each up a 6-inch breakfast sandwich. Well, I first ate that at like 10, so I definitely was not hungry for lunch, so I haven't eaten since 10, so I'm getting a little hungry. So I must stop talking about food. I have a tendency of doing that. I'll go on a rant about food and I end up making myself hungry. It's like, stop talking about food, but then no matter what I start talking about, it ends up at food. It's like, how do you do this? My brain is hungry, so it just automatically reverts back to food. So, okay, well, I think we are going to have to finish up here shortly. I really was hoping I could get these 8s all done, but I don't think so. I'm trying to determine if I'm going to have to work on this. Like last time, I worked on some of it on my own, and then we came back and finished on camera, so that there's only 2 color and chats for each picture. Well, typically that's what I do, but I want to limit it to the 2, and if I didn't do some on my own, it would take longer than 2. And then I'm trying to get the 2 color and chats in the same week rather than 1 each weekend, because I do want to get 4 of these pictures done this month. 1 picture each week. So then 2 color and chats for each picture. And then I want to use 4 different coloring mediums in these books. So last week we used ink tonics, right? I have a short memory. And so now we are using the Shuttle Art Fineliners. And I have a few other coloring mediums to pick from. I just did a review video of another awesome fineliner. And I won't ruin the surprise because this will be going up before that video. That one will be into the week sometime. But I am thinking for our next project, the next picture that I do for Belba family, we're going to use these new fineliners that I got because, yeah, I really like them. I already have the colors all picked out and written down for the Belba family books. Shock, shock, I know. But, yeah. And I have a number of them to type up yet and make them look like this. This is all going to be part of another video I'm going to be doing, which is showing all my, I don't know what really to title it. I was going to call it maybe my organizational binders, because it's my binders with all my color charts in, and then it's this one, and yeah, so I'm going to do a separate video for that, just to show you what I have put together, and if it, once you want any ideas on what you can do. Mine by no means is the best, but it works for me. That's what's important. You must find a system that works for you. And I know some people don't color swatch at all, and they just wing it. And I cannot do that. That is not a system that works for me. Nope. Okay, let's just finish up these few 8s, these little stragglers out here. Then I'm going to finish up the 8s off camera. There's hardly any, but that's all. I'm only going to finish up the 8s. And then so the next color and chat, we're going to finish up the picture. Just going to do these 8s down in this corner, and then there's some 8s around the border in here. And then the rest of it, we're all going to do in the next color and chat. So I won't be doing that much off camera at all. Like I said, I was kind of hoping to get this color all done on camera, but it's not going to work out. It's getting too late. So yeah, I must go finish supper. Priorities, Supper comes before color and chats. Okay, just a couple here yet. And then I shall have to bid adieu. All right, and we'll end with this line of 8s. Boy, I'm getting messy. I just start humming along, and then it's like, ooh, that was a messy one. Oh, here's a straggler. Okay, so yeah, I'll just finish this corner, do these 8s in the middle, and then we're going to come back and finish this. I'm kind of hoping, let me zoom back out so you're just not zoomed in on my fingers moving. I'm really hoping to either finish this up in a video tonight that I can put out midweek next week again, like Wednesday, like I did last week. Or if not tonight, I will try to record it one of the nights after the kids leave, so that or even maybe in the morning before they come. I don't know. I'm usually not real awake in the morning, so I don't know if that'll work. But I will find a way. So again, this is how far we got this time. I think it's looking really cute. I can't wait to see how it's going to look like with the colors in, I'm assuming, the leaves. But yeah, how do you like it so far? I think it's looking kind of neat. So, hope you enjoyed this color and chat. Again, this is from Square Mandalas by Belba Family. And yeah, if you enjoyed this color and chat, please hit that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I put out new videos. I hope everybody has had a great weekend. By the time you see this, it will be either Sunday night or Monday morning. And as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.